Hey there, nation. Welcome to the show where we help you to play miniatures wargaming on a budget. It is I, Commander CheapSkate, and we are back with our final episode of Ride the Lightning. This is our series of videos talking about the painting as well as building of our studio's 2,000 point Stormcast Eternals Army. And as you can see from this video, the full 2,000 points is finally completed. So, this is what the army looks like. I'm actually pretty proud of the way it came out. It's a very long process. It took us about, I would say, 4 months if you were to took off all the time that we've added together, painting up this project and adding it together in consecutive days. About 4 months worth of work is actually what it was. It took about a year to get this all fully assembled and painted because we've been on and off again for different projects throughout the year. But now that it's fully completed, it looks absolutely amazing. So, in this video, we're going to talk about exactly what the design concept was behind this army, how we went about assembling it and painting it, and of course, finally doing the showcase for the entire army. So that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and get this video on the roll. Alright, so the first thing we're going to talk about is the army's theme. So as you can see here, the army is painted up in a very specific color scheme. These guys are painting up in the turquoise sky blue color of the Celestial Vindicators. Now, as of Age of Sigmar Rules 2.0 came out, they actually released a whole new battle tome for the Stormcast Eternals, and within that battle tome, they actually laid out specific rules and benefits for all the different Stormcast Eternal Warrior Chambers, and one of them was the Celestial Vindicators. These are the guys who are known for wearing their sky blue and turquoise and gold armor. Now, originally, when I actually started painting up this army, it was back when Age of Sigmar version 1.0 was out. I actually painted them up in that sky blue color, the Celestial Vindicators color, just because I thought it looked really cool. I thought it really popped. I thought the gold, while it is very cool looking, having all gold armies for like the Hammers of Sigmar, for that warrior chamber, while they do look really cool, it just looked kind of plain to me. I wanted something a little bit more challenging, something a little bit more different looking for an army. Like I said before, in all my videos when we talk about painting, I like bright, bold, distinct colors in armies. I find that is a very good attractive quality for armies, and so when I saw that turquoise and gold color scheme for the Celestial Vindicators, that's originally what I went with. Now that I've actually gone with that and see that they actually made rules now, I'm actually really excited that I painted these guys with that color because they're very fighting, very charge-heavy, combat-oriented army, and I'm really excited to use those rules now because now it just kind of fits the flavor to the army. So that's originally what I used to base my design from the color scheme on my army on. And so because they belong to the same warrior chamber, I decided different shades of blue and gold will be used to determine the different units that would make up this army as well. So that was the overall design color scheme that I kind of went for this army, was for the Celestial Vindicators look. Now the actual miniatures within the army, I will admit, I am a cheapskate, so I'll try to go with the most miniatures I can get for the least amount of money. So if you'll notice, most of my army is actually made up of 2 kits. It's primarily made up of the original Age of Sigmar box set that came out, that makes a majority of the army, and the other majority of the army comes from the Blight War box set that came out for Warhammer. That's the one that included the Vanguard members of the Stormcast Eternals, and that's where I primarily make my army. I then bought like individual units, just a couple of them to flesh out the army to round it off with characters and other units, but primarily that's what it is. So let's go and talk about the actual individual portions of the army. We will start with the center and then work out to the flanks. Alright, so let's go and start with the center of the army. Now this is the army you guys have actually seen for the most. As you can see, this army consists of a unit of 10 Liberators. You guys have seen these guys before plenty of times throughout various battle reports. It's also the very first part of the first 1,000 points that I painted for this army. Very distinct turquoise and gold armor. The next rank is 5 Judicators armed with bows. As you can see, their armor is a little bit darker because I wanted to go the darker blue color for their color scheme to represent their missile troops. And you guys have seen those in a lot of videos as well. Then up next we have my Knight Heraldor. That is the Trumpeter. As you can see, he's got his very distinct turquoise and gold armor. He was a recent addition that I actually painted from armor when I went to 1,500 points. Followed by the right hand side, that is my Knight Vexillor. That's my battle standard bearer for my army. He's also a new addition as well. Very distinct turquoise and kind of like a sea foam green color for the Knight Vexillor, as well as the Knight Heraldor. I went for kind of like a sea foam green color for those guys. And then of course I have my other turquoise color again for my 5 Paladin Retributors. They look freaking amazing. Right in the back, of course, of my Lord Relictor. who's been impressing me as of late in some battle reports they've had, so I'm very excited to have him. And of course, I have the general for my army. This is the Lord Celison on Dracoth. He is the OG of characters. It's kind of neat because his character is kind of painted up to kind of match all parts of the army. He's got turquoise armor for his Dracoth, dark blue for his armor. He's got purple and gold to kind of link in the rest of the army. We of course have the magenta color to act as the accent piece for all the grips, the ribbons, and as well as the mains for the armor. So you guys have seen these two characters before from our first 1,000 points. Up next on the left-hand flank, that is my Knight Venator. That is the guy who's got the Sky Realm bow. He's also got a Star Eagle, I believe is what it's called, as well. So you can see he's got that seafoam green color to kind of distinct him, mark him out as a character. So I bought that kit. And then with the leftover pieces from that kit, and using the Prosecutor Prime from the original box set, I created Knight Azeroth out of that unit as well. So this is the Lamplighter. Once again, he's got like a nice dark turquoise color for his color scheme as well. And then moving on to the very back rank from the center, we have my 5 Prosecutors. So there's one right there, he's armed with a Grand Hammer. We have one here armed with a shield as well as a Sigmar Warhammer. Another one armed with paired Warhammers. And on the right hand side, same exact thing. Sigmarite Warhammer and Shield, as well as paired Celestial Hammers. I did that so that way if I want to, I could have the unit run as either wielding twin Celestial Hammers or Sigmarite Warhammers and Shields, just in case I ever felt the need to switch it up. And that makes up the center portion of the army, which you guys have seen time and time again from the majority of the armies. Now we're going to move on to the left as well as right flanks to talk about the latest additions to the army. Alright, so now we're on the left-hand flank. As you can see, we have 2 units here. We have Vanguard Hunters. We have a unit of 5 of them that came with the Blight War box set. And then, of course, we have Longstrike Raptors, armed with Longstrike crossbows with their Aether Wings in support. So these 2 units came in the Blight Wars box set. Just a couple things to distinguish them. For the Palador Hunter, sorry, the Palador Hunters, for the Vanguard Hunters, I figured that because they're like, you know, ranger type characters that go behind enemy lines and act as stealthy, I decided to give them really dark blue armor for them, even though they're Celestial Vindicators. So that way it kind of matches the lore of these guys, or, you know, behind enemy lines that are sneaking through as well. I also did a lot more gold accents with their helmets to kind of let them stick out a little bit more, to make them look a little bit more, just to break up the monotony of the color scheme for my army as well. Very, very happy with the way these guys turned out. They look amazing with their handbow pistols as well as their storm axes. So I'm really excited using these guys, especially since they have that compass as well. And another addition to my army, of course, are the Raptors. Now these guys are also painted. I decided to kind of mix it up a little bit with the paint tone. Instead of sticking with this dark blue color like I did for my Adjudicators, which really, really popped, I decided to stick with more of a turquoise color for my Raptors, just to make them look a little bit more distinct as well. I also went with the magenta color for their mains, gold, of course, leather, and also they have their Star Eagles, their Aether Wings, which I painted up in a purple color, so I have a dark purple as well as a creamy light purple as the off colors for that. So as you can see there, we have that as well. So these guys are really cool. They got long range firepower, shoot across the table and stuff. So I have a lot more shooting elements in my army now. I have my Prosecutors who can shoot. I have my Knight Venator, as well as my Hunters who can shoot now as well. And of course my Adjudicators as well. And on to the right-hand flank, the very last addition to the army as well, are 3 Paladors for the Vanguard as well. Now these guys are also from the original box set of Blight War as well. So you see they're both all 3 guys are armed with javelins. They also got their pistols on the back of their on the side of their griffins as well, off their chargers. And these things look really amazing. I am always amazed with the latest line of sculpts that came out from Games Workshop with Age of Sigmar. They're very dynamic poses for all of their characters as well. I decided to stick with a light turquoise color for these guys to represent that they were fast and slick, kind of like a sky blue color. Made them a little bit of a different color range than the rest of the army. Just to represent the fact that these guys are, you know, supposed to be quick and they're supposed to be running along, you know, the aether, invisible, magical energies of the air. So I made them a little bit more of a sky blue color to kind of help them blend in with their surroundings as if they were flying through the sky. Same thing with their gold. If you notice, their gold is a much muted gold than the other ones. It's basically painted with kind of like a light gold color, so that way it has, you know, makes it like a lighter color to it to make it look like they're lighter tone. I went with a much darker golden tone for majority of the infantry units of my forces, but for these guys I want to make them a little bit lighter looking, so that way they look like they have like a very distinct look. I did exactly the same thing with the helmets as I did with the hunters. I decided to give them a full-blown golden helmet as well to kind of mark them out as vanguard units, and that's why they have those as well. So yeah, that pretty much does it for this one, ladies and gentlemen. This is 2,000 points of Stormcast Eternals. This is our Celestial Vindicators army for our studio. Their army is collectively known as the Lords of Azure Skies. And these guys will be coming down roaming down from the heavens, flying down on bolts of lightning to bring it to the chaos and death and destruction, and to bring order and serenity back to the realms for Age of Sigmar. A very long road to get this done. Very, very excited and extremely pleased with the results. And this army just looks amazing. It just pops on the battlefield. It just looks awesome as well. And I'm excited to try this out at full 2,000 points to see exactly how it plays as well. So that's good to do for this one, you guys. As always, please feel free to like, comment, and or subscribe. Your guys' input is always appreciated as always. Also check us out on Facebook, Instagram, Google+, as well as Blogger.com for all the latest and greatest for hobby news. In fact, if you were following us on Facebook, Instagram, and Blogger.com, you'd actually would see these photos of the works in progress of this army over the last couple of year and a half. Alright, you guys, that's good to do for this one. You guys stay classy. We will catch you on the next one. Peace out, you guys.